I don't think anyone just disappears. You always leave a trace somewhere. Reflection of a Dead Diamond is a Shudder original that was written and directed by Helene Cate and Bruno Forzani. I'm pretty certain I probably got Helene's name wrong. I do apologize. And this is a French, Italian, and Belgian production, I think. At least what I gleaned from the credits and also what I gleaned from IMDb. Speaking of which, check out the respective IMDb pages of the writer-director team for the full listing of their work. And this features a spy named John, played as the older version by Fabio Testi. I'm sorry, not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. Testy! He's a testy little old man. I'm sorry. Let's be serious here. Because this old spy is called back into action when something from his past drums up feelings that his mission when he was younger was never fully finished. And he must realize and solve this mystery before his life is history. Reflection in a Dead Diamond Tales. Woohoo. Okay, who has seen Danger Diabolic? If you know what that movie is, and there are probably about 5 of you that do, you will get an idea of what you will see stylistically in this movie. There's a bigger budget in this, at least I assume. It is very visual. In fact, it is very much style over substance. In fact, this may rewrite the definition of style over substance because the narrative is surface level. It's really not that deep. That's what she said. God, I should call her, but she'll never take my call. She blocked my number. But enough about my relationship issues. Let's talk about Reflection in a Dead Diamond. That actually is very much a visual treat. It's very neat. There are some cool fight scenes. I like the use of color. I like the fact that Sophia Musal is gorgeous, with respect. My word, she's gorgeous. And there are a couple familiar faces you'll see in this if you're into European films. Maria de Medeiros, if I got that right. She's been in some stuff. And Cohen de Boyu, or it's Koen de, as well as Bouw. That's a name that rings a bell, but I'm drawing a little bit of a blank on a project I saw him in recently. So, realistically, it is just Danger Diabolic with a different color palette, right down to the goddamn outfit of the assassin. I mean, the main assassin. It's a leather outfit with just like the visor, part cut out. And it's even got diamonds. I mean, it doesn't have the assassin sealed in some kind of weird, like, compound or whatever happened at the end of Danger Diabolic. It was a really strange movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it certainly had charm. And it was also the last movie of the main run of MST3K until Netflix revived it and then quit. And then they had to go doing whatever they did. But yeah, you're going to get a lot of vibes of 60s and 70s spy movies, some Bond influence. It will be the old age of Bond, the Bond age as it were. And some other Italian, and even French spy movies of that time. It's very centric around that theme, so it has to rely on the cool visuals to hook you. And this movie did to an extent. It's also only 87 minutes with end credits, so you are not necessarily going to waste your time and feel like you didn't at least get something. It wasn't dull, I will give it that. It's not a perfect movie. It has a few times where I think it relies a little bit too much on its visuals when it could try with a little bit of a narrative, and it's just trying for boom, 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 boom. We're going to show you weird stuff and strange stuff with people reacting differently. We do get a couple very pretty women in this, I will say that much, and some cool spy gadgets. But again, very much style over substance. It's on Shudder if you want to check it out. I'll get into spoilers, what I can spoil. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. So, again, Danger Diabolic vibes all over the goddamn thing. Right to the point that the villain is called Serpentik. Serpentik. Come on. Come on. So anyway, we basically get into the memories of John here. And he has to decipher really what he actually did and what is just a memory that was spun around by other villains and other forces beyond his control, I think. Marcus is a very rich man. Marcus is played by Mr. De Boyu, or however you say it. And again, Sophie, my word, My word, what a captivating beauty she is. Good Lord. So we start off with old John, played by Fabio, who is looking at a very young girl on a beach and everything, and yeah, kind of creepy. Also, why was the glass table, the fancy glass table, so close to the goddamn beach on that very rocky beach? Seems like a stupid place to put it. That being said, it's a beachside hotel, and he has a gadget case, and he is bound, determined to crack this case. But then we basically go through his memories. I didn't catch the name of his assistant or whatever. She was an African-French woman. She had a nice pizzazz about her. She just really wasn't given much to do. But while preparing for a mission, she says, "Touch me again and you're dead." And very strange story arc, mainly because it's not a normal narrative, but it's also a very simple narrative. And we get like a cool moment where he's talking to his, compadre and talking to her while there's this split screen effect going on. And there's actually, again, some really cool visual cues in this. And as he's trying to decipher what's going on with this assassin, we do get a point where this assassin shows up at a roadside bar, and the table tennis, no, not table tennis, but like table soccer thing, or table football as they call it over there. She kills a guy by bashing him into that. She has a spike, a spike on her heel. She has metal for fingernails, and she also has fish hooks in her goddamn hair. This seems impractical, but it works. She ends up cutting off a guy's dick, or cutting a guy right up the dick. She uses the fish hooks to slash guys up. She gets her nails broken, ends up with them in the wall, and ends up getting beat up some because she's not a perfect spy. She's goddamn good, and she looks great in that leather outfit. I do have to say that. Like 2 or 3 dicks get cut in this scene. I mean, they don't show that, but they show the shot of, getting sliced. And there were some cool visuals and some cool violence. It's unique. And then we see the partner of John, who basically has a disco ball-like thing with the weird silver discs, or the reflecting discs, mirror discs. And, they can record, because of course they can. Oh, yes, and also there's this point where this guy was, where he was gambling, but he had a ring that could actually read people's minds and also see cards, because spy. Why not? Just go with it. That's really all you can do with this movie, is just go with it and just trust that it'll take you along. Again, not a perfect movie, but whatever. So the timeline's a bit messy. We see that he has, we saw that he killed somebody. Old John killed somebody and knocked him over. Goddamn thing by piping him. That's not a euphemism. And then his partner ends up, getting killed at one point. And he says, "I will avenge you." Somebody killed Marcus, and he is being blamed for it. He did not do that. He vows revenge, John does, and to basically bring down whoever caused this, bring down the assassin, Serpentik. Also, then we find out how Serpentik is doing this stuff. They said Serpentik, I do apologize, Serpentik. We find out how she's killing people, in addition to the fish hooks in the hair. And because it looks really silly with me talking about hair, considering I have none. And the metal nails, and the dick cutting heel. We find out that she has a ring that poisons people. She gets them on the back of the neck. It's called the Cobra's Kiss. Kind of unique, I'll say that. There's also a man that kills art collectors, I guess. And then there's one called Kinetic. It's Kinetik. And that's somebody that can hypnotize people and make them think that they're in a movie. More on that here in a minute. I don't, whatever, it's fine. So, then we get some weird stuff about face ripping, taking off the masks and the layers of this elusive ghost assassin almost. And as her face is getting ripped off, it's like revealed every single version, every woman they got playing this assassin, pretty cute, gotta say that. But anyway, at least the young version, but tells, tell Marcus he's next. And Marcus was killed by Serpentik with the little Cobra Kiss ring thing. I explain this well at all because the film sort of did. So, as John is trying to figure this stuff out, there's talk about, well, if you can't do it, we could always replace you. They show a younger version of him, all this stuff, he could be replaced, like replacing Bonds and stuff like that. And then there's a point where he finds her and is beating her. She's beating him up. He's beating her up. Could she beat me up? Could they all beat me up? I don't have issues. You have issues. And then there's this talk about diamonds. Diamonds! There was even like a boat scene with like some diamonds and some weird visual stuff. And diamonds are a spy girl's best friend. Or a Serpentik's best friend. And, oh look, suddenly we're on a movie set. Gee, I wonder what's going on here. It's a way to lure the spy out, or it's a way that this kinetic is doing this, or it's really all in his head, and he's just absolutely going insane because he's an old man, and maybe he just dreamed up this life, and he's actually just been a man that stole some diamonds, and he's been living off of, just creating this reputation in his head. Hard to tell, honestly. So they lured the spy out, but then suddenly, Serpentik is, various women are just suddenly, various versions of her are just suddenly nude, doing it. I assume the different women are all conquests that he had, or other assassins he encountered, and he's just putting them all here, maybe, or maybe she just can shed her skin. Why not? And we get some nude fighting, because why wouldn't we? I don't know why we need to see younger John necessarily stripped, but it is what it is. And part of the reason is, well, the reason this is going on, the reason that the lady is doing this is because there are evil people in the world, the plants being poisoned, water's being poisoned, I guess. There's a lot of newspapers, and they only translate a bit of them. I can't read Italian or French. Sorry. And earlier, just before all this stuff with the nude fighting and stuff like that, an envelope was dropped off by the older Serpentik, played by Maria. And she said, oh, please hand this to him. So, the book is the return of Serpentik, because it's a comic book, though. And then we suddenly have a narration between these two characters at this dinner scene. It was John and it was the spy, the assassin, diabolic dressed spy, but then multiple languages are being done, almost like it was a movie in different dubs and stuff like that. Maybe it was again. Maybe he was a really good spy and got wrapped up in this whole thing and has been living and reliving all of this stuff, but he actually was never able to get out of it, I guess. Then we get a comic book car chase scene where it seems like, oh my god, she actually died, except she didn't. Then we get a new John D with blackjack and hookers. And now, all of a sudden, John is bedridden. This old John is bedridden, but a new one has come back up. A new Bond, whatever. This woman paid for his medical bills. He ends up going to her house. Why not? And finds out it's really her. They chase each other away, or they chase each other in a kind of a slow chase scene. Granted, they were tight corners. You probably could have chose a different location, but she goes off the goddamn thing. But then he's imagining it, and they go off the damn thing right as she poisons him, and he falls into the water. But then it's back on the beach, and whatever. That finishes whatever the hell that was. I know it sounds like I'm down on this movie. I'm not, but it's just, I'm like, all right, it's a thin narrative, but it's visually arresting. It is definitely weird. It is not the weirdest movie that I have seen this year, but it's I don't know why it's on Shudder necessarily. I mean, I know Shudder takes chances on movies that others wouldn't, but it seems a little bit odd for a horror-based streaming service, but A- for the visuals and for the interest. It isn't, I don't know if it's going to be something I'm going to watch again anytime soon, but yeah, shrieking, danger, diabolic noises. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritlin with the A- across the board, and until we revisit the spy who loved me in the European waters once again, whatever the fuck that was, happy trails to you.